hard getting up every day, not knowing where your son is. So I just want to get the message out there. If anyone has any information, please come forward.
I hope that the Grubin family is getting the support that they need, and that they are not being left alone to navigate these issues. Like, these are complex legal issues. Oh, in terms of the need for missing persons legislation, specifically call for Justice 5.8, it's very sad to me that that is something that has not been prioritized, that it's not something that has been implemented. That's concerning. And that means the families of 80 people who are left with heartbreak and question. It's also not the most complicated legislation. There are examples of it and very effective functioning models throughout the country. And I would point to Ontario as having developed quite robust legislation in this area. I would also look to the Yukon for how they've developed and also co-developed their legislation with stakeholders, and particularly Indigenous communities and grassroots. That gap was something that we heard from government and police forces as being something that was needed. We also heard it from families and survivors who were suffering the unimaginable horror of not knowing where their loved one was, and there being basically a dead-end road when it came to the work of police to try to uncover what has happened or where their loved ones was, because there was no clear indication of criminal activity in the course of the disappearance. Really get the sense that Frank's family feels abandoned, and they feel like they are alone, and I can really understand where that comes from. And you know, there is a responsibility on the part not only of the RCMP, but the GNWT and the support services from the government, from the public government, as well as the communities that the group and family comes from, to support them and advocate for them as well. I can understand why the family would wonder and be fearful that homophobia and anti-Indigenous sentiments played a role. And in our forensic audit of historic files, we did find that these types of prejudices and assumptions about Indigenous women and gender diverse people did play a role in investigative decisions. And it wasn't just facts. Somebody knows something, and you know, I think we have to keep saying his name, and we have to keep talking about this and supporting the family and hope that answers come.